Honkai Star Rail is another entry into the Honkai universe, made by Hoyo Studios, the same developers behind Genshin Impact. Yet again, we get another Gacha game. This is a role-playing, turn-based, semi-futuristic video game, kind of similar to Tower Fantasy a little bit. Like you will feel this game is more similar feel of Tower Fantasy than it is to say Genshin or Honkai Impact the Third. Honkai Star Rail is a pretty decent game. As someone who avidly hates Gacha games, as someone who avidly despises Genshin Impact and don't view Genshin as a good game at all, Honkai Star Rail is definitely a step in a better direction by Hoyo, as well as just an in general better game than Genshin Impact, in my opinion. More so because the setting and the gameplay is more enjoyable to me, and also I feel like there's less gotcha in this gotcha game in terms of you don't necessarily have to spend so much money or time to grind in this game as you would in say Genshin Impact. But this is a review for Star Rail, not another video to talk crap about Genshin Impact. So welcome to my channel. I'm the newest gamer Archer. Hope you all feel good, smelling good as we do a review of Honkai Star Rail. So to talk about the story of Star Rail a little bit, a science fantasy fictional universe in which humanity follows the path of godlike beings called Aeon, while combating a corruption force known as the Fragmentum. The player character who you play as, you don't get to create your own character like you can in Tower Fantasy. Much like Genshin, you pick male or female. You don't really get to customize them, which is a huge negative in this game. I feel like as someone who, the biggest reason why I enjoy Tower Fantasy so much is the fact that I make my own character. You would think that MiHoyo or Hoyoverse would have decided to give you the player the option to make your own character, because it just would have been a better thing. But you pick a male female character. Your character is known as the Trailblazer. When you are awakened in this game, your character discovers that they are imbued with a disruptive cosmic entity, the Stellaron, which are a very dangerous entity in this game's universe. Much like other gacha games, you will amass characters through the usual Gamba gacha mechanics. You accumulate, tickets, and you go to the warp. And if you have 10, you get 10. And every time, I think for this one, it might be like every 80 or every 50 tickets you open, you have a guaranteed 5-star character in the game, which is fine. I feel like this game doesn't. Personally, I don't feel like the game has too many currencies, at least not ones that if you're a free-to-play player you don't need to worry, because a lot of times it comes to free-to-play games, especially from over China and Korea, you feel like there's too much going on for if you're someone who doesn't want to spend a single dime, someone who's not going to be a whale, someone who's not going to open their wallet for these games. You feel like there's no way for you to get your characters. I'm someone who, like I said before, in Tower Fantasy, I didn't spend a single dime in that game, and when that game came out, I had all the characters. And here it comes to Star Rail, I have majority of the characters, even though I haven't spent a dime, which is contrary to my experience with Genshin, where I simply just couldn't get new characters at all. Like I would just get duplicates over and over again. But Star Rail, I have majority of the characters, not all of them, but majority of the characters. And I feel like it's fine. I feel like Star Rail, when it comes to how his Gamba works, how his gacha works, it's basic. There's a battle pass that kind of is thrown away. Not when I say thrown away, I mean like it's not really noticeable, and that kind of comes down to the game's UI. The game's UI interface, much like Genshin's, kind of a mess, and because it's a mess, you kind of don't really necessarily see a lot of the gacha in this gacha game, a lot of the microtransactions of this game. A lot of the times you basically got to go looking for and try to figure out what icon means what in this game to understand that this is where the microtransactions are, this is where the cash shop is at, and things like that. Gameplay wise, Star Rail is very interesting in the sense that it chose to go a different route than say Genshin Impact or Tower Fantasy, which is made by a different developer studio. Star Rail goes with a turn-based system. It's also a mobile game, so it also has autoplay. So it's a turn-based game. You have four characters battle enemy, and I think I really like this game's combat. I really like this game's the way it plays, the way it sounds, the way it feels when it comes to the combat and whole. I played Honkai Impact the Third, didn't really like it, but this game it connects better with me than Genshin in Honkai Impact the Third. Like I thoroughly enjoy playing this game. I thoroughly enjoy getting involved in the combat. story wise, I just want to go back to that a little bit. I do feel like it is a game that has a lot of time gating, a lot of slow moments, a lot of long moments where it seems like you're just doing, pretty boring and not even like tedious tasks. They're just boring tasks where it's like your daily challenge is go talk to this person and then that's it. Go talk to this person and then that's it. Like you're not really doing a lot of missions when it comes to, some of your missions that you get in the game. It's literally just you talking to people over and over again, and that's it. There's no depth to this game. That's kind of like one of the negatives I'll point out. There is no real depth to this game's story. There's no real depth to the game's interactions when it comes to characters. A lot of the characters are kind of just uninteresting. Even when it comes to like voice acting, in this game is pretty decent, but there are some characters who sound like they're bored. But I don't want this to sound like I'm trying to be hard on Honkai Star Rail, because I do think it's a fun game. I do think if you're looking for a free-to-play game to play, if you got some time on your hands, that you should try it out, because it is a free-to-play game. It is, on Epic Store if you want to go through there instead of going through the direct website, which you can also do. Either way, you're going to end up installing like the game's installer. So whether you get it on Epic or not, you're going to be going through that. It's a fun game. Generally I feel like I enjoy it myself. I think the combat's really good. You're seeing all my gameplay in this, and generally I want to like show you guys more combat than like story stuff, because for the most part I feel like that's what this game tries to sell you on. And also I don't want to spoil anything in case you're someone who's into spoilers, who enjoys the games that MiHoyo and makes, like Genshin and Honkai Impact the Third, and you don't want to be spoiled on what this game's story is and what it's about, and some details. So for the most part, there will be some like some cut scenes in here just to show off like some of the dialogue and how the voice acting is. But for the most part, you're just gonna see a lot of combat. I think the visuals are really nice. I'm not the biggest anime fan, but I definitely enjoy anime aesthetic video games more than I don't, and actually more than I enjoy animes themselves. So this game definitely is a visually good looking game. I do wish there was more customization to the game. I do feel like the weapons in this game are a lot more fun than Genshin Impact. Personally, I feel like there's nothing this game does. Well, for said, I don't think there's anything Genshin does better than this game, in my opinion. This is my review, and it is my opinion. I don't think there's anything that Genshin does better than this game. I think this game is more comparable to Tower Fantasy in terms of being semi-futuristic and having very good mechanics and very good combat. And if you see my Tower Fantasy review, which would be to your left or to your right, I really enjoyed that game. So I'm speaking high praise of this game, Star Rail, by comparing it to Tower Fantasy and saying that I enjoy it just as much. In some cases, a little bit more. Not entirely, but in some cases, a little bit more. I do like some other characters in this game more than Tower Fantasy characters, but also just generally feel like Tower Fantasy is just so much better of a game than Genshin and the Honkai series, including Star Rail, so where it's harder for it to compete for me personally. But I do really enjoy this game. I do feel like right now I would much rather play Star Rail than Tower Fantasy, but that's mostly because the lack of content currently in Tower Fantasy, and the fact that it's kind of a dead game. So when it comes to doing like the MMO of that game is lacking. But this isn't a video to like mention that about Tower Fantasy's video. Talk about Star Rail, which I think again is generally a good game. I'm sorry if I sound a little not as energetic as we usually sound in our reviews and our videos. Just I don't know why we sound a little less engaging. I don't know. You tell me. Do you like the reviews better this way, where we're more quiet and give us like an ASMR review compared to our usual review format? Who knows? I don't know. You guys tell me. But in terms of Star Rail, y'all know me. I don't like giving like grades or like scores. I just feel like it's better to just tell you if the game's good or not. Calling it a 9 or a 10 or an 8 or 7 just seems redundant, especially if you think about like what are you comparing that to. I think it's better to Genshin. I think it's better to Honkai Impact the Third. I think it's close to Tower Fantasy. I think it's just generally a good free-to-play game that I recommend you check out. You have nothing to lose if you try it out. That's the benefit of free games. You have nothing to lose to try it out. If you don't like it, uninstall, go about your life. If you do enjoy it, you got a new game to grind. I think it's a good game. But with all that said, that's it for me. Being your boy, Anubis the Game Archer. Well, catch you guys on the next video pretty soon, as I'm still settling to the new place. Follow me on Twitch, link to me below. We're going to be playing a lot of Star Wars Jedi Survivor on my Twitch stream. All my links are in the description box below. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Y'all stay safe, be kind to one another. Be boy Anubis. I'm out of here. Deuces.